unit water utility modification requirements. Viewpointe East Condominiums, 1450 Pine Log Road, Conyers, Georgia, 30012. State of Georgia, um, public water systems under the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, EPD, rules state for safe drinking water under GA, what's that, Comp R, and what's that say, regulations 391-3-5. No person shall erect, counteract, or operate a public water system, nor undertake substantial enlargements, extensions, additions, modifications, renovations, or repairs to any public water system without first securing the division's approval. That didn't happen in January 2023. Rules on the SOS, therefore, any condominium or multi-unit property intending to add meters, install sub-metering, alter service lines, or modify master meter configurations must obtain EPD and local utility approval. Unauthorized utility modifications, contractor, let me see, must obtain prior EPD and local utility approval. Unauthorized regulatory violations under Rule 391-3-5, Rockdale Water Resources Standards, Rockdale County Water and Wastewater Standards, and specifications September 2019. You say updates on rockdalecounty.gov. Requires include minimum water main. Let me see, water main, whatever, 3-8 inches. Residential, 12-inch. Commercial. Main locations typically 7 feet behind the back of the curb or within institutional systems, right away. Land disturbance, erosion control must follow county permitting. They didn't do that. Standards, backflow prevention program regarding the commercial, industrial, and multi-unit institutional systems to prevent cross connections, Rockdale Water Resources. Rockdale County further specifics that appropriate permits are required for any installation, extension, extension, let me see what that said, extension, let me see what that word is, alterations, or general repair water sewer systems. Okay. Under 302, is that 302? 44B1, 302-61B, 11, and 302-62B, parentheses, 9, is relevant to such utility work. Georgia Code 12-5-180.1, water waste management allocations to multi-unit buildings. This statute authorizes, let me see what that say, authorizes administrative fee and billing method to fully disclose prior to occupancy agreement. That was not disclosed to us, the billing. And the billing method must be fully disclosed prior. And then Georgia Public Service Commission, PSC, grant exclusive regulatory authority for billing and service to the authorized public water authority provider, and that's Rockdale Water Resources. Okay? And still customer, I don't know what that said, bill customers within the service area. Right, but Viewpointe East Condominiums, let me see, complex through a master meter, which is done, because individual condo units share internal service lines. The property cannot be reconfigured into individually metered condos without full engineering. What does that say? Full owners and without proper authorization from Rockdale Water Resources and EPD would be unlawful. Reports, what's that say? Reports indicate that water services since January 2023 alleged due to unauthorized service terminations, billing is prohibited under Georgia Code 12-5-180.1. Each individual owner at Viewpointe East Condominiums pays $275 monthly maintenance fees to the HOA, which includes water sewer services from Rockdale Water Resources. Any modifications to the existing public utility systems, including meter splitting, sub-meter installations, or private billing, requires prior permits and written authorization from both Environmental Protection Division and Rockdale Water Resources. You see, they didn't get that from us. And then when we went through this article, this is written in February, when was this written? February, let's see what that says. Oh no, February 20, here it is. February something 2023. And this says, it's February 22nd, 2023. Newton Citizen, GA. It says, Conyers, Georgia, more than 80% of the residents, Conyers condominium complex, who were left without water after members of the homeowners association switched utility management companies, management services in January, I didn't say what year, had their accounts restored. That's not true. We always had Rockdale Water Resources, who's the only PSC approved public water authority, who's currently billing us for water services. As of last week, there are 12 homes awaiting restoration of water services at Viewpointe East Condominiums on Pine Log Road. Let me see what this says. Jesus. Ooh, I don't know how to read that. It's too small. Tensions rose at the Viewpointe East Condominiums late January. It didn't even put the year, as residents were switched. What's that? What's it? What's that say? Were switched from Rockdale County Water Resources. That's not true. To Jasper Utilities. We weren't switched. They added an additional utility provider who is also billing us for water services. And this quote unquote Jasper doesn't even process water. They don't even have certification for public water, wastewater management. The previous agreement that the HOA, that the homeowners paying at a pro rata, I don't know. It's only one person living in my house. I ain't got no water. Jasper found that some members did not pay their HOA fees. That wasn't my case. It was causing, they still ain't got everybody paid. Today, this is October 26, 2023, 57 people paid out of 79. And then we got investors who don't pay nothing, like Dan Swanee. He's at 1504 C Pine Log Road, and they got the wrong address in there. Over the course of 2022, final installations. You can't do that. We just read that. And you can't do that without a permit. And they ain't got no necessary permits for that. And Rockdale Water Resources still be public water authority. Okay. During the work, can you see that? During the work, I can't read that. Meeting on Tuesday, February 22nd. They had a meeting without letting the community know about it. Rockdale County Board of Commissioners shared appreciation to the community. A bottle of water don't make you take no bath or wash your clothes. We're empathetic to the needs of the residents and citizens. That's what Paul said. Folks have to have water. I'm glad he said that. However, I pay the HOA fee, so it includes for water. We find ourselves in some very awkward position as it relates to legal agreements and things of that sort. Since I don't have a legal agreement with Jasper, I don't have to buy water from him. I have a legal agreement with the HOA who has to provide. And you cannot turn off water from people who are disabled, period. And it's about 3 something our time. And we are going over a few documents here that was emailed to the HOA that they just ignored, knowing that they should have taken care of this long time ago. And they didn't. That shows much malfeasance. EPD. Let's see, is this? Subject, formal demand for immediate restoration of water services. This is from myself, writing a letter. This is July 18th. Rockdale Water Resources governing, and this is the address. Formal demand for immediate restoration of water services at 1504 Pine Log Road. Rockdale Water Resources Director and Management, I am writing to demand immediately restoration of water service to my residents and located within Viewpointe East Condominiums. Please be advised of the following. Rockdale Water Resources is the authorized public water authority, provides for this community, and as confirmed by the director, the community water bill is current and paid in full. Homeowners Association fees are paid in full, and HOA is responsible for maintaining and paying for water services for this property. This property is not individual metered. The Safe Drinking Water Act, SDWA, enforced by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, guarantees residents access to clean, safe, uninterrupted drinking water. The ongoing lack of services constitutes a potential violation of the federal law, particularly affecting elderly and disabled residents, thereby raising serious health and civil rights concerns. I have already contacted the U.S. EPA's drinking water hotline, Safe Water EPA, regarding these issues, noted in my September 30th, 2024 letter, and informed them of the stormwater runoff and reoccurring sewage backup that exacerbate unsanitary conditions. In addition to Viewpointe East Condominiums Association has acknowledged in court records and communications their responsibility for water and sewage infrastructure, as well as obligations to provide water services as part of the monthly HOA monthly maintenance dues. Continued denial of access to water services to my unit is both unlawful and inhumane. Immediate restoration is required to ensure compliance with Safe Drinking Water Act, Georgia Public Utility Laws, and local housing ordinances. Request water services restored within 3 days of receipt of this letter. This is July 18, 2025. So we're going to the next letter. Conyers Biolab claims denied. Chemical explosion on September 24, environmental damages claim Hurricane Helene, infrastructure damages, lack of water services, uninhabitable conditions, housing complaint, property. This is July 31st, HUD. We're talking about the director, subrogations, Rockdale Board, Justin Kinney, who signed off on receipts, mediation and supplements, or to original fair housing complaint, supplement, retaliation, uninhabitable condition, discrimination, Viewpointe East Condominiums, director, board members, Dear HUD Housing, request accommodation, independent mediator to facilitate independent inspections of common areas of Viewpointe East Condominiums, unauthorized termination of water services, lack of water services since January, failure to file insurance claims for environmental disasters, for recovery of damages, Hurricane Helene, September 24, 26, and biomass chemical exposure on September 24, 2024. No, environmental damages, several 20-plus dead trees, lack of maintenance on common areas, breach of main common sewer lines, court documents, I believe, retaliated from, and we got environmental damages from 2 catastrophic events. Helene, financial abuse by Viewpointe East Association, fabricating and allegations to local police, unauthorized property restrictions. These appear to be tied to my coverage of structural issue, impactful disability, senior, and veteran-owned homeowners may violate Fair Housing Act. I have endured financial, physical, emotional, and environmental damages to property and my health. Negligence, fiduciary responsibilities, protect the community, and failure to file lawful insurance damage claims for biolabs chemical explosion caused chemical exposure and accelerated deterioration to real estate and personal health, financial hardships, and habitable conditions. Oh, this is a lot of information. Homes that currently do not have water service by PSC-approved Public Water Authority, Rockdale Water Resources, nor access to hot water with children living in Viewpointe East Condominiums without access to hot water and access to water since January 2023. They attend these local schools, essential services, Clean Water Act, multiple billing for services already paid for, the 275 monthly HOA fees, predatory billing practices, and condominium without hot water, blah, 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 blah. Billing for services, predatory billing practices of Jasper Utility, Jasper Management Service for water services, metering already covered in the 275 monthly HOA fees. Public Water Authority, which is Rockdale Water Resources, and unlawful towing of vehicles. We got a lot of that stuff going on. These incidents occurred repeatedly. Exhibit A, May 31st, 2019, a line of pattern of retaliation from the HOA. Such action may constitute illegal retaliation, discrimination under Section 818 of the Fair Housing Act. Please see these exhibits. I guess they're attached. Post 3, Justin Kinney litigated in case 2019 MAG 4990 Community for Viewpointe East Condominiums Association Infrastructure Systemic Common Main Line Failures, Breach Sewer Lines, Servicing Buildings, 1500, 1504, 1496. That's a lot of information in a short period of time. Let's see what this says. Okay, I guess that's not it. Let me see what this one says. Supplement. I'm gonna see what that says. Supplement. Nope. I guess that's not it. Let's get something else. PHH Mortgage Services. Georgia Public Service Commission and state law. The Georgia Public Service Commission and state law gives regulatory authority over public individual utilities to authorize public water systems to authorize provider, Rockdale Water Resources, or expressly authorized agent operators should bill customers water and sewer in the service territory. Georgia law limits how owners and landlords may rebill tenants, allocation or sub-metering rules. The total charge to tenants cannot exceed what the owner actually paid, plus a reasonable administrative fee, and method must be disclosed / allowed. Third-party contractors contract was not agreed upon and signed by all parties and owners. Several condo homes, 1450 Pine Laurel Road, Conyers, Georgia, due to unauthorized termination of essential service without court orders or written consent, condos forced eviction, and habitable fire safety hazards in buildings 1500, 1496 C and D, 1504 C Pine Log Road are still without water service and utilities since January 17, 2023. It's illegal to double bill for essential services. HOA receives from each homeowner who is required to pay $275 maintenance fee, includes for water and sewer services with Rockdale Water Resources and amenities. Multi-unit condoplex cannot be individually separate condos with water meters due to shared water lines within each unit or apartment building. This is a claim. All right. We are going to get down to the do. Since they look at my since they look at my YouTube, member time payment, background for the basis. On January 17, 2023, several properties suffered repeated sewer line backups, utility service disruption, and property damage. These incidents involve infrastructure governed by Rockdale Water Resources, the PCS-approved Public Water Authority, and are connected to non-EPD approved work and unpermitted modifications by contractors. The City of Conyers Code Enforcement previously participated in temporary repairs to the main sewer line, creating documented municipal involvement and tacit acknowledgement of ongoing infrastructural risk. Legal authority framework, Rockdale County Ordinances and Universal Plumbing Code. The relevant ordinances, in conjunction with Universal Plumbing Code statutes, require proper permitting, inspection, and oversight of sewer and water systems. Failure to comply constitutes regulatory and public safety violations. Utility laws and EPD regulations. Unauthorized interference with utility systems include installation of meters or diversion of service. Violates OCG 46-2-26. It's called utility tampering. Georgia EPD regulations mandate permits for modification to sewage and water infrastructures. Unpermitted work by Jasper Utility Services and other contracts constitute a breach. Rockdale County Commissioners' fiduciary duty and oath of office. Commissioners swear to uphold the law and protect public health. Oversight of infrastructure adherence to county ordinances and protection of residents' rights fall within this duty. Public versus private responsibility. Prior involvement of the City of Conyers Code Enforcement Officer Melissa Mel Staten in inspections and temporary corrective actions shifts responsibility from solely private HOA matters to a recognized public health concern. This is consistent with OCG 12-8-20. Evidence supporting this. Affordable Plumbing invoice 001427, October 16, 2019, documents temporary snaking of a main sewer line with board members' initials C like in Charlie, B like in Bravo, and communication acknowledging the permanent replacement is required. Appraisal report 2023 omits lack of water services and fails to account for ongoing infrastructure issues caused by improper and unauthorized utility work. Utility billing records. Evidence of double billing by Rockdale Water Resources and Jasper Utility Services. Critical considerations: city and county accountability, municipal involvement, and temporary repairs, and failure to enforce permanent repairs implicates county oversight responsibilities. Public health risks, sewer backups, and water service interruptions present continuing hazards to residents, triggering obligations under Rockdale County ordinances, PSC regulations, and Environmental Protection Division requirements. Insurance bond coverage. Denial of claim overlooks governmental acknowledgement and involvement in infrastructure maintenance, potentially triggering liability under ACCG -1 IRMA program. Request for reconsideration. Given the combination of municipality involvement, regulatory violations, public health risk, and documented damages, I respectfully request ACCG IRMA to reconsider denial of claim 625-006-0267. Enforcement actions and compliance with Rockdale County ordinances, PSC approvals, EPD permitting requirements, and universal plumbing standards in relation to this claim. Review whether municipal and county actions or admissions contributed to the damages in accordance with fiduciary and statutory duties. Provide written documentation And receipt of this letter, did that. This is City of Conyers Mayor and City Attorney, Ms. Bootcheck. County, Rockdale County Commissioners, Rockdale Water Resources, Department of Insurance, and Twin City Fire Insurance, and the surety bond provider, which is ACCG. Multi-unit water utility modification. It's October 25th, 2025. Multi-unit water utility modifications requirements. Viewpointe East Condominiums, 1450 Pine Log Road. State of Georgia rule for public water system under Georgia Environmental Protection Division, EPD rules say safe drinking water, that's GA Comp R, in Regulation 391, 3-5, no person shall erect, construct, or operate public water system, nor undertake substantial enlargements, extension, addition, modification, renovations, or repairs to any public water system without first securing the division approval. Therefore, any condominium or multi-unit property intending to add meters, install sub-metering, or alter service line or modify master meter configuration must obtain prior EPD and local utility approval. Unauthorized utility modifications constitute regulatory violations under Rule 391-3-5. Rockdale Water Resources Standards. The public utility provider for this property, Rockdale Water Resources, operates under Rockdale County Water and Waste Water Standards specifications, September 2019. Key requirements include minimum water main sizes, 8-inch residential, 12-inch commercial, and industrial main location, typically 7 feet behind the back of the curb or within the right-of-way offsets. Land disturbance and erosion control must follow county permitting standards, backflow preventing program required for commercial, industrial, and multi-unit institutional systems that prevent cross connections. Rockdale County further specifies appropriate permits and required for any installation, extension, alteration, or general repair of water sewer system. Subdivisional commercial permit applications reference UDO section 302-44B, 302-61B1, and 302-62B9 relevant such utility work. Georgia Code 12-5-180.1, water waste allocation in multi-unit buildings. This statute authorizes building owners to allocate water and wastewater costs to tenants only if the total billed to all tenants does not exceed what the owner actually pays. The public utility plus a reasonable administrative fee and billing method is fully disclosed prior to occupancy or agreement. State law and Georgia Public Service Commission grant exclusive regulatory authorization for billing and services at the authorized public water provider, in this case, Rockdale Water Resources. Only Rockdale Water Resources or its approved agents, contractors, may legally bill customers within the service area. Rockdale Viewpointe East Condominiums service lines are shared within each building, and Rockdale Water Resources currently bills the complex through the master meter because individual water meters because individual condo units share internal service lines, the property cannot be configured into individual water meters, condos, without first engineering redesign, EPD, RWR, Rockdale Water Risk approval under 391-3-5. Any contractor, Jasper Utility Services, operating or billing without written consent from all owners and without proper authorization from Rockdale Water Resources and Environmental Protection Division would be unlawful. Reports indicate that several condo homes, 1,500, have been without water since January 2023, allegedly due to unauthorized service termination or rerouting of essential public utilities without court order or consent, violates both EPD regulations and county permit requirements. Double billing or unauthorized utility rebilling is prohibited under Georgia Code 12-5-180-1. Each unit owner at Viewpointe East pays us $275 monthly, which includes for water and sewer services from Rockdale Water Resources. Any modifications to the existing public utility system, including meter splitting, sub-metering installation, or private billing without prior permits and authorization from both EPD and Rockdale Water Resources, period,